What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get into what's going on over there in Iraq. As usual, our boy Al-Kazemi doing anything and everything he can to make sure Iraq is back out there in on the international scene. Quick reminder, everybody, if you're thinking about buying precious metals, give our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange a consideration. The link is in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free ½ ounce of silver. As you guys know right now, my accounts are disabled on Facebook, most likely until after the election. But you can come join me over here on Twitter. The link is in the description. All right, so let's get into this. As you guys know, our boy Al-Kazemi is running around over there in Europe, meeting with France, Germany, and the UK, talking about what they need to do in order to establish relationships all over or improve them. So the governor of the central bank is discussing with German banks investment and work in Iraq's banks. Okay, again, this is good. This is what I like to see. This is Iraq getting on track, trying to reestablish themselves out there internationally. We need outside investors to come in Iraq. I said it a billion times. These outside investors come into Iraq, they invest into the economy of or they contribute into the economy of Iraq. This is what we want them to do. This will create new jobs, less people on unemployment or entitlement programs, more people going to work, paying taxes. Okay? So again, this goes into here talking about what they need to do to work together. Now, if you guys remember, I think it was summer of 2019 for some of you. A lot of you were not aboard at that time. But nonetheless, back then what happened is the Iraq Central Bank had to update their banking software because it was old school. It was so old. It was allowing people, corrupt people, to get away with money laundering, as well as, they were financing terrorists. So it was easy to do this and do some real illegal activities because the system was so outdated. So they went ahead and updated the system, as we all know. And the system allows them to obviously monitor banking activities a lot easier, making it harder for people to do corrupt stuff. Doesn't make it impossible, just makes it harder. So the House of Representatives intends to reduce the amount of the internal borrowing. So this is good. Remember I was telling you guys that even Al-Kazemi stressed this. They're trying to avoid any external borrowing. Keep to internal borrowing. Because when you borrow money from the World Bank or the IMF, what usually happens is they insist on dictating policies or procedures that they want you to follow. And it's not always what's best for Iraq. All right? So nonetheless, they are submitting a new proposal. It says right here, the government's requested loans for the 4 months is amounted to $57 trillion. Well, it distributed, according to the report, from the beginning of the year, mid-August, up to $51 trillion. So what they're going to do is lower the amount that the government is requesting. Al-Kazemi, we're looking for financial support to organize fair elections and security and military cooperation with Germany. All right? Again, what Al-Kazemi is reaching out to the international community to see if they can help in any way, shape, or form. Make sure that the early election that'll happen next June is supervised, transparent, open, and free, so that the Iraqi people will feel like their vote actually counts this time around. All right? Their goal, obviously, is try to reduce, if not eliminate, all the Iranian-backed politicians that are in there running resistance for the most part. So again, here is Al-Kazemi saying, look, this is where we need help. So it says, we come to Berlin to confirm Iraq's commitment to its desire to establish close relations. And we also look forward to strengthening security and military cooperation efforts with Germany. We are going through difficult times because of the Rona, but we have embarked on an ambitious program to restructure and rebuild the Iraqi economy. This is what we want. This is what we need. All right? I told you, Iraq is going to be the gateway into the Middle East international trade scene. They need Iraq to be rebuilt. This will help out a lot of countries over in the Middle East. Unprecedented, I love this, unprecedented contraction and high unemployment. The IMF calls on countries in the region to accelerate reform and diversify this economy. This article is a little lengthy, but I'm going to come back to it because this is exactly what I was talking about when I do my videos on what's called the Great Reset. In this article, it is clear as day that the IMF is actually working hand in hand with the World Economic Forum to push the Great Reset on the world. This article spells it out as clear as day. So just to give it to you in a nutshell, because it's very detailed and I need to go over this a little bit more in the reset video just to prove what I was trying to say. But in here, all it's saying is, look, you know, not just Iraq, but they're talking about the whole Middle East over there needs to speed things up to get back on track, to do what they can to get in line with the Great Reset. That's not what we want. To me, this looks like you could tell the IMF and the people that are running this Great Reset feel panicky. Things didn't go as smoothly as they hoped, and there were certain countries that were not in position to start and launch this so-called Great Reset. And I'll get into that a little bit more because most of you guys just want to hear what's going on in general with Iraq. Basically what they're saying is the IMF announces that the average oil will be 41.69 a barrel in 2020 and 46.70 in 2021. Well, yeah, that's due to the Rona. Oil demand is down because they got everybody on lockdown. They're not allowing businesses to open. But once they do, we get out of the Rona and a vaccine comes out, that screws their entire plans. The demand for oil is going to shoot up, is what we're going to see. Okay? An extended meeting of Al-Kazemi with the heads of French companies. So what this meeting is pretty much the same thing that Al-Kazemi did when he came here to the United States. Remember, he met with some of our biggest corporations in different fields of science, oil, gas, education, security, you know, all those types of electricity, all those types of company. He's doing the same over there as well, figuring out what they need to do business together to help Iraq get back on the international scene. To be cooperative, to do what they can. You can see down here, it's most of the same things. You can see Al-Kazemi clarified the details of the reform white paper as adopted by the government, the response it received, and the economic and administrative reforms it contained, as well as its inclusion of reducing government expenditures. So what he's saying is, hey, help us down here. Look at this. Iraq is keen to create solid economic partnerships and its endeavor to sustain momentum in developing a real transition in the economy, just as it's keen to provide healthy and appropriate conditions for investment and address the obstacles it faces. Iraq has already embarked on a campaign to combat corruption, and I think they're doing a great job. So don't forget, Al-Kazemi is also over there campaigning to be removed off their blacklist. Okay? So we need to keep an eye on that. That's going to help Iraq big time on the international scene. So again, it's just in detail of most the same thing that they did with the United States. You can see right here, look at it. The meeting dealt with discussing culture, educational cooperation, curriculum development in line with the requirements of progress and transformation in educational methods, especially in light of the measures to prevent the Rona pandemic. So you can see they have intentions of trying to drag this Rona thing out as much as possible. They're using the Rona as an excuse for everything. See, if you are planning to create and develop educational programs and create curriculums that help you deal with the Rona, their intentions are to keep everybody on lockdown, if not as long as possible, permanently. I know that sounds terrible. They'll allow you limited access outside. They want you to work inside your house. They want school inside your house. They want to limit your traveling. You can tell just by this paragraph right here. All right. So anyways, yeah, we know most of this is what's going on. It's the same thing as before. And then right here, it says the head of the Mobilization Committee burning the Democratic headquarters in Baghdad as a criminal act. It was his people that was accused of it. He's saying we agree it was criminal. And the people who have been arrested, I told you, this is a good thing about Al-Kazemi. Under his administration, when a major crime is committed, the people get caught really quick, man. So it's not very good time to be a criminal over in Iraq. It isn't like the good old days when people protected you. So nonetheless, he's saying, look, these people have been arrested and they're going to be dealt with. All right. And that's exactly what the world needs to see. The international community, as well as protesters and citizens, that, hey, there is security, there is stability within the country, which is exactly one of the goals we want to show the international community. All right, you guys. So that's it for now. But if any major changes happen, I will update you. All right, so give the video a thumbs up, and if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it, and I'll catch you later.